He's put his injury concerns behind him. He's putting games together and playing good footy as well. Cherry Evans it is who gets us underway. The kick-off down to that southeastern corner of Four Pines Park, and the Titans will begin here. They'll play it through Fodawaker just outside their own 10. And it's a big game for them. They've dropped some close ones in recent times to both the Raiders, of course, and the Eels. They'll come to the middle here where Isaac Liu will work it forward, and he'll play it just inside the Gold Coast 30. Goes back to Fasua Mala'awi, the skipper, 22-year-old.
Okay, Josh, clear him. Hold.
Hit there by Josh Alloy. That was a tremendous tackle, and now they've done well to bring it back to the halfway line after struggling in those first few plays from their own end. Fodawaker with another carry, and the kick from AJ Brimson, the left footer. It will go down to Jason Sam to bring it back. Runs to be stopped there by Brian Kelly, and he'll play it just inside the 30. Kelly back from COVID protocols last week, and now here is Ruben Garrick filling in for Tom Trbojevic, still of course in the fullback role. He'll be there for another perhaps a month as well, with Tom Trbojevic not due back until maybe round 10, round 11. There's a problem. Josh Alloy very slowly in this first set. 2 for 4, Sipley is out there taking the place of Marty Tapau, who's out through the COVID protocols. They also lost Morgan Harper with the same story. And they'll play it here 35 away from the Gold Coast line. It comes back to Cherry Evans. They'll put it in the air. Kick goes down towards Marzu, who goes up above them. In fact, it was Philip Sammy on this left-hand side, and Sammy will play it just outside the 10. Kelly with a carry from his own end. Both teams getting through their first set of 6 incident-free.
Yeah, 2 really good sets from both sides. Probably Manly just got a bit more territory on their set, but a real nice kick on the end and a good catch from the Titans. It's going to be a nice arm wrestle this first couple of sets. And there we go, penalty. Second set.
Off the back of a second carry from Philip Sami in that set. And they'll work it away. Not much breeze to speak of here at the moment. Just absolutely classical autumn's afternoon in Sydney. And Olakawatu just taking too long to get off Philip Sami to give them an attacking chance here. First of the game, 2.5 minutes in. First of a blockbuster doubleheader. Sharks and the Storm down there in Melbourne at Amy Park to follow this one live on Fox League. Sexton takes it towards the 40. He'll be stopped there pretty quickly. Jake Trbojevic downstairs with Sipley over the top. They go right. Fodawaker comes to for feeder. Kieran Foran up very quickly in his face. And some help there from Andrew Davey. And they'll play it here just outside the 30. Fasua Mala'awi goes to Sexton. Here is Brimson now. Chance to give it to Kelly. Former Seagull himself. Stopped there, a good tackle by Tolu Kola. A young 20-year-old who filled this spot on the right-hand side tonight for Morgan Harper. Here are the Titans just inside the 20. It's Clark from dummy half. It goes across. Sexton kicking out wide. A chance. Herbert flying forward. Got a good piece of it as well, but knocked it on.
I think the Titans will chance their arm down this left-hand side, the right-hand side of the Manly Seagulls, with Saab and Kohler. Not a lot of experience there. They'll chance their arm. They'll set up on the right post and come down to the left as many times as you can. You just saw the kick. I think he mishit it, and the Titans had a really good chance of getting some points there. Manly hung off and didn't try to contest the kick. Come up with the error.
As Manly work it away, we'll go downstairs to James Hooper.
G'day, Warren and Flano. Evening, everybody. As you touched on, perfect conditions here on the northern beaches at present. A little bit of a light breeze. Surface looks slick. And the crowd, they love their footy up here, Warren. They're starting to roll in now. Manly officials hoping for a crowd of around 10,000.
Well, that might get in excess of that, Hoops, for the way they've filled the hill over there in particular. Always a good barometer as Andrew Davey plays it here from just outside the 40. It's Cherry Evans who bombs away, goes down towards Marzu coming forward, makes a good catch there. In fact, it was Jermaine Asako on that far side of the field who was coming forward, playing on that right wing with Marzu still up there in the line. So just too deep there for the Titans as they worked it away. And now Marzu thrashing around, earns his on another penalty. And the Gold Coast will get some easy meters once again.
Yeah, and there's killing teams at the moment, these type of penalties coming out of trouble, whether it's 10 metres or they're holding down in the tackle. They just piggyback sides out. We see now the Titans on the 50-metre line.
They begin again. At the halfway mark, and they'll take it forward through Mikey Fodawaker. Aaron Clark waiting at dummy half in those day-glow orange boots. Here is Sexton. Up very quickly, Cherry Evans there. Just got monstered AJ Brimson. He looked up and Cherry Evans was there on top of him. Liu inside the 40. They've already used up 3 plays. They've only gone 10 metres. Here's Clark now jumping in a dummy half. Quick play the ball. There was nobody there at marker. And it's just outside the 20. Comes from Misako through Sexton. Brimson is there. Kelly now comes to the outside. Kohler again makes a good stop. And the Gold Coast have one more play. It goes to Sexton. He'll chip it across again towards Herbert. Contest out there. Parker came down with it, but he gets wrestled into the in-goal area. And the Gold Coast have got themselves a dropout.
Yeah, an identical set to the first one they had down in Manly's end. They attacked to this left-hand side against Manly's younger centre, but he did a really good job and chopped his knees together and got a nice tackle. But then the Titans went and kicked to that far edge on top of the 3-man in. Kieran Foran it is, but they come up with the catch and they push him back into the in goal and they get another set again. See if they go the same set up on the right post to come back to the left.
Cherry Evans goes down the middle. Asako with the catch, and Liu brings it back here to play it 30 out from the Seagulls line. All the pressure applied early on from the Gold Coast. It's for Suamala-Awi. Stuck there by Foran. So Davey once again, that pair hunting as a team on that left-hand side. From Clark it goes to Sexton. Brimson now at speed. Kelly into a hole. Saab did very well. The offload came now with a chance for Sami, who has the ball go straight through his mitts.
Really good read here by Jason Saab. They were done all up. They had numbers. They had 3-on-2 coming down this edge. But Jason Saab comes up with a really nice read, comes in, makes a tackle. He gets a late offload, but Manly good enough to scramble around the back. And then the pass. I think it might have been a chance. It's a left foot step to get back inside.
Takes that one, he either, you think, yeah, steps off the left foot, maybe even wins the race against Kohler as quick as he is. He only had about 3 metres to go there, and he knew there was a real chance blown by the Gold Coast.
Showing their hand early, the Gold Coast, the way they want to play, especially when they get down in the opposition's 40.
And they fancy their chances on this side of the field in this first half. Penalty, Manly's first of the game. Davey with the carry. Desperate to try and hold him down for fear of a quick play the ball. Will give the Seagulls their first chance in attack, and perhaps give Cherry Evans the first chance to maybe put in an attacking kick, and he has been dynamic, whether it's in general play with 20-40s or 40-20s. He's putting grubbers in behind teams as well for tries. He has been fantastic over the past 2 or 3 weeks as Manly found their form after dropping their opening 2 games of the season. Here they are, just outside the Titans 30. It's Foran who goes flat. Alloye is up there at the advantage line and takes them on the attack inside the 20. 9 gone, no score as yet. Boy, it's raucous here at Four Pines Park. Cherry Evans. Foran on his outside there, decides to hang on to it. Really a slow play the ball underneath David Fafita. Searching left and right. There's Cherry Evans, who will hunt back out to the right-hand side now. They play the ball from under the uprights. They'll go towards Kieran Foran. Players in motion. Garrick is one of them, trying to get to the corner. Tuipulotu is stopped and stays just in the field of play. Manly with one more. Comes back here. They'll put a kick in through Ruben Garrick towards the uprights. It's a beauty from Garrick. Suamala-Awi it is who cleans it up. What a kick by Ruben Garrick to get his team 6 more plays.
So important if you've got another player in your team. You don't have to rely on your 7 and your 6 to do all your kicking. Daly Cherry-Evans was stuck out on the right. He couldn't get over close enough to the play the ball, which was right in the left-hand corner. but the fullback just stood up and said, I'll do it. Gets a nice repeat set.
Ends up play from Fasua Mala'awi to get back there and clean that up. An ad-lib kick from Reuben Garrick, but it was spectacular. Cherry Evans looking for Sipley, finds him eventually. A little hide-and-seek game as they bring it back from the halfway line. And Croker waits at dummy half. Goes across to Aloye. Davey pushing up, but takes the carry himself to just outside the 20. It's Croker. And very flat on this right-hand side. Cherry Evans out the back, turns Olakau'atu underneath. Standing there in the tackle of Aaron Clark. They've used up 3. They're just outside the 10. Here is Jake Travojevic at the line. He goes to 4, and Davey back on the angle. Searching for the in-goal area. Did he get it down? Boy, it is tight. He was still, with a second effort, trying to find the turf.
On tackle 4.
And we'll check with the bunker to see if he did.
Just check when they roll him back over. The ball doesn't hit the line. We've got him short.
I don't think he does first go, and then he has another go, and I think he's back in the field of play. I think the referee's got it right here. But Manly set up to the right, ready to go.
Sarko gets a piece of him and spins him onto his back. Didn't get it down there, realised
ball's up
that,
at this stage, no grounding.
Bring it
Ball
back,
comes
brings
backwards.
it down to the turf, but he's short of the line.
Yep, it's back
Still in
the field of
possession
play.
and doesn't reach the line. We have a decision.
As close as that to back-to-back tries in consecutive weeks for Andrew Davey, who missed all but all of last season with that ACL tear and the reconstruction. He's gone close here, but he'll play it with 2 plays remaining in this set. Cherry Evans, it goes to Kohler on this right-hand side. Good tackle by Brimson around the legs. Quick play the ball though, and to grab it, they have done it again. Manly just keep scoring tries off kicks, and they grab the first 4-pointer here tonight.
Daly Cherry Evans, he gets to dummy half on this occasion and looks to his right, and there's 2 Titans players in between his 2 Manly players. They get a quick play the ball, a real quick play the ball. He comes out and has a look, and there's 2 players in between him, so he just drops the ball onto his right foot. He has the chases, just so many kicks in his armoury, Daly Cherry Evans. He shows out, beautifully weighted kick, and his big back rower is just there ready to take it.
What a combination on this right-hand side. They've supplied one last week on a Olakau'atu on the end of a grubber against the Newcastle Knights, and then here he is 9 days later. Cherry Evans running to dummy half. He's got the ball on a string at the moment, DCE, and he knew exactly what was needed as he got there to dummy half.
There was some good work done in closer to the ruck by Travojevic, Jake. He goes deep into the line and then plays out the back to Daly Cherry Evans, and Daly then hits his centre on a really good line, gets him a quick play the ball, and then the Titans just couldn't adjust or get back quick enough. I think they might have found that there would have been a penalty if a tackle was made anyway. But Daly Cherry Evans jumps out of dummy half, beautifully weighted kick.
Ooh, there might be something further to look at here. This is very late in the piece. Try has been confirmed, but there was a suggestion there that the ball was just fractionally coming away from Amoli Olakau'atu.
I think it might have came away from his hand, but it was still pressed against his body on contact with the ground. You could slow it down as much as you like, but anyway, they've ruled try and we'll play on.
And Carrick, he's had his goal-kicking boots on so far this season, 14 from 16. It's a methodical process he goes through, and he strikes them nicely. And it's worth the wait if you're a Manly fan, that's for sure. Brings this one back. He keeps his record intact, having a terrific season. Here's Reuben Garrick. Manly lead the Titans 6 points to 0. Downstairs to James Hooper.
Daly Cherry Evans on fire, Warren, with the deft little right foot grubber. Hamoli Olakau'atu scores with the honours. But just keep an eye on Manly's right edge. They have got speed to burn on that side. No Morgan Harper. He is missing this evening due to COVID. And that means that Tolu Kohler gets an opportunity alongside Jason Saab. Can't they fly?
They have got some speed, that's for sure, on this right-hand side. Kohler and Saab, what a combination. We'll see if they can But the stopwatch is clicking here tonight. It's simply to bring it back. Manly on top early. And it's a noisy venue this evening, as you would expect.
Yeah, it's a hard venue to play against when they get on a little bit of a roll like they have at the moment. I've been really impressed with their two front rows. They've Sipley and Aloyo. They've been powerful through the middle, and defensively they've been strong as well.
Oh yeah, he slumps back to his haunches having played that ball. Is there perhaps a problem with the right shoulder and or arm?
That was early, Warren, real early in the game. He got to slow play the ball. I think he might have got a bit of a burner in that right shoulder, and he's just battled on.
In their first set of 6, in fact, you can see he's still labouring out there at the moment. Runs a decoy here. Cherry Evans goes underneath for Olakawatu. Take it inside the Titans 40. One play here. Cherry Evans kicking. Why wouldn't you give it to Cherry Evans to kick it? Garrick is chasing. Asako, almost a clean miss. Luckily for the Titans, Sami was there and keeps it in the field of play.
They're all on the same page at the moment, Manly.
Here is Lachlan Croker muscling up, trying to drive Asako back into the in-goal area. The Titans hanging on. They are rocking and reeling, but they get a penalty. Manly jumped the gun on that left-hand side.
Yeah, just all their attack is in sync, and everyone knows exactly where they've got to get to, and on time. On that occasion, a beautiful kick by Daly Cherry Evans again, and his fullback Ruben Garrick just timed the run perfectly and nearly come up with the result.
Third time in the game, the Titans have had the easy meters from their own end. They'll begin once more at the halfway line. They've either led comfortably in games in recent times, as they did against the Raiders, only to cough up that lead. Behind last week against the Parramatta Eels, and almost came back to snatch that one at the death with a flurry of tries late in the piece. A chance here to try and level things up. Kasuamala Awi will play it. Clark at dummy half. It goes to Liu. Now Sexton turns to feet up underneath, and up in his face. And stop him from getting going. I guess that's the key. Don't let him wind up, otherwise we know what he can do. Here's Liu. Comes across to Kelly. Out and in move on Tolu Kola. Stopped by Cherry Evans though. Manly's defence very good, helping each other out across the line in the early exchanges. It's Liu. Playing here just outside the 10. They've got one more tackle left. Clark pointing right, coming left. Goes to Sexton, Bribs on the sweep. The kick might be too big. Saab has to play at it. It was sitting down. It was going to be a chance. And Saab not taking it out of play, so they'll get 6 more plays.
Yeah, good decision in the end, Jason Saab. He didn't want to mess around with that ball. Just hung up and wouldn't get over either touchline, so he just puts it over the dead ball line. But that was a better set from the Titans. They'll click into gear now, 2 sets back-to-back.
Full moon out there in the Tasman Sea. Seagulls hosting the Titans. Cherry Evans, another big kick here. He's got every kick you could imagine. He's a monstrous boot when he needs it from his own end when they're in trouble. And that one went 55 on the fly on the dropout. Clark comes here to Marju, who will bounce off the tackle of Voyevich. He'll play it eventually. Just outside the Seagulls 30, slowly play the ball as Davey got tangled up. Play on is the call. Isaac Liu off Sexton, but boy, they were there to meet him and crunch him. Croker was there and Olakawatu over the top. Sexton there for Brimson, a stuttering run. Asako, early ball for Herbert up against Parker. Got the ball away to Marju. They'll take him into touch. They love it here at Manly. Their defence has been strong and they've been tested a couple of times now inside their own 20. Good sliding that time from Christian Tuipulotu.
Well, why wouldn't you love it? Look at that corner that he's been taken over on that hill. It is, you cannot find a piece of grass on that hill at the moment. A fantastic crowd, and Manly are living up to everything. Some really good defence there, forcing the error, numbers in the tackle, and push him over the touchline.
One of the bigger crowds we've seen here, and of course with the addition now of the Bob Fulton stand at the northern end, it is quite the scene here at 4 Pines Park. They're on top, Manly. 17 minutes gone, they lead 6 points to 0. Here is Harper to take, or rather, Tuipulotu. Looks like Morgan Harper out there with the flowing locks, doesn't he?
He does.
Morgan's watching on from home, no doubt. G'day, Morgan. Hope you're okay with COVID. Here's the kick for Sako. Goes down there to bring it back from the 20. They'll be stopping a good tackle there by Davey and also Parker. Downstairs for news on Josh Aloye with James Hooper.
An early change for the Seagulls. Warren, Josh Aloye off. As Shane Flanagan pointed out, he looked to pick up a burner on that right shoulder. Straight up the tunnel for Josh. Dylan Walker into the fray. And Des Hasler's also made another change in terms of his starting front row. He has taken Tafawa Sipley off, and he has got Taniela Paseka on.
That's the one. Big man for a big man, James. Thank you for that information. Sexton puts it down here. Gives it straight back to Manly, and Kieran Foran on the counter-attack bounces off the shoulder of Isaac Liu before he's stopped just outside the 30. Dylan Walker out there. Adds a lot to his Manly team through that middle third with his ball playing. Gets a chance here to go to the line, finds Cherry Evans. He gives DCE just a little bit more width. Kelly driving in on his old teammate, trying to stop him and take him to ground. Slow play the ball from Jake Travojevic. Walker, first man option. Paseka there, cut down. A terrific tackle by Fafita. They're short though on that edge. Here's a chance for Davey again. Ball goes to ground. Play on here for the Gold Coast. They were short of numbers defensively and they scrambled well because Davey initially saw plenty of open space in front of him.
Yeah, they had to get off their line quickly on that right edge, and that they did, and they came up and in, and they forced the error. Manly just couldn't get it through the hands quick enough, and Davey got it close to the line again, but they forced the error. Titans need to be really disciplined here and just have some time in possession.
Carrying forward through Philip Sami. He'll play at 5 short of the halfway line. Midway through this opening half. First of 2 games with the Storm and the Sharks. Second versus third beyond this. Sexton. Taken there by Paseka on for Suamala-Aui. 2 very large humans coming together there. Sexton puts it in the air. Herbert again chasing through. Putting pressure on Garrick, who goes up above everybody. What a job he's done filling in for Turbo Tommy Travojevic.
Oh, he's an NRL player, whether he's on the wing or at fullback, he's a fantastic player, and they get a penalty coming out of trouble for a high tackle. The thing that I was really impressed with Manly in the previous set was that tackle 2, the ball goes to Daly Cherry Evans, and he just reefs it downfield on an early kick, but every Manly player knew about it. It was a planned kick, and everyone got in that kick chase, and they nearly forced an error and got themselves the try, but they're on the attack again here. Nice kick by Daly Cherry Evans, and they'll start on the 40-metre line.
At dusk, right here on the Northern Beaches. What a sight that is. As many crowds we've seen here for some time. I feel there's something really brewing for the Seagulls in 2022. Walker play the ball, comes with 4, and now Ola Kuwatu had Brimson going backwards, some help there from Beau Fermor. And now forward from the middle of the field. New set off the back of the infringement by the Titans. And the restart has Manly. And a big chance here to add to this 6-0 scoreline. Travojevic at the line. Comes back to Paseka. Marches it towards the post. They're set for a long left-hand side now. Cherryon's feigning to go to the right-hand side. It goes through Travojevic. Now Foran. Chance for Garrick into space. So much space. He cruises through and scores. They've got them shot to bits at the moment. The Seagulls, off the back of a weight of possession, go down the field. They get the set restart again. And in that long left-hand side, Travojevic finds Kieran Foran. Players in motion. Herbert was going in. The ball went out. And Garrick just streams through.
That's all class, and it's such an advantage to have Jake Travojevic on your team. And actually, they've got another one out there at the moment with Dylan Walker, who's ball playing in that middle part of the field. It takes so much pressure off the 2 halves, and on this occasion, he goes deep into the line and plays out the back to Foran, who, look, he just exploded onto the ball and goes to the outside, had a lead runner and played out the back. And then Garrett couldn't believe his eyes when they just opened up. Goes through untouched, but this Manly side at the moment are on song. They're all on the same page offensively, defensively defending well, but Daly Cherry Evans, Kieran Foran, Jake Travojevic running the show perfectly.
They look a different team to the side that was beaten in the first 2 rounds of the Premiership. They went down 28 points to 6 against the Panthers up there in round 1 at the foot of the mountains, and then in round 2 at the SCG they were in the same class as the Sydney Roosters, but they've got things going since then with 3 straight wins against the Bulldogs, the Raiders and the Knights, and the Titans here again tonight. A similar story to what they faced last week against Parramatta when they were down in the first half of that one before they came roaring back in the second half. They'll have to try and do it again here tonight because Manly using the ball beautifully. He knows their lines. And Garrick trying to convert his own try here to make this 12 points to 0. Just on 23 minutes gone, the kick is good. It's Reuben Garrick's night so far here this evening. 2 conversions from wideouts, his own try as well, and he leads with his Seagulls teammates 12 points to 0 against the Titans.
Yeah, an outstanding kicker of the football in front of that hill that's absolutely packed. Of course, he was going to kick it. The thing I like about Manly at the moment with Jake in there and all the good sides, you look at Penrith Panthers, they've got Isaiah, you've got the Roosters and South Sydney, all play that middle forward that ball plays. Parramatta are probably the only team that haven't got that ball playing back rower. They're more of a power game. They do pre-line pass a bit with Junior Paulo and so on, but their style is completely different. But this Manly side, very similar to Penrith, have got a very valuable ball player in their 13.
It certainly has changed things. Dylan Walker, probably the prototype along with, I guess, Isaiah Yeo, the way they have transformed their respective teams' attack in that middle third. Coming off the bench, Dylan Walker adds so much, and here he is again coming on. They grab a try not long afterwards. Second here being driven backwards in the tackle. The Titans need to find something. 20 points to 0 last week. Here is Walker bouncing up to his feet, playing it quickly. Off the back of it, Croker brings it back to almost the halfway line, and they've got there on just 3 plays, despite the Titans winning comfortably that first collision off the restart. Walker again. Taken down by Fasua Mala'awi. Nobody there at marker, but they come to this right-hand side from Trebojevic to Cherry Evans. Good early ball there. Kohler. Good tackle, though, from Fermor and also Kelly. Now Cherry Evans. They put it to the air. Asako under pressure here. Put one down earlier on. Makes a good catch above the pack this time around, although the ball comes free. It's play on, and Saab plants it down. There's a bit to check here. That ball seemed to take an age before it came free from Jermaine Asako. What happened on the ground?
Well, I'm a bit of body language looking at Jermaine Asako. His body language is not good for the Gold Coast Titans. I think when he's come in contact with the ground, it may have come loose. There was 2 Manly players in the tackle. I wouldn't think there was a rake in it. They've made good, strong contact with the ground. And as I said, the body language is not good from young Jermaine.
It seemed to be
Manly kick chaser onside.
a long time in happening. Hits the ground there. What happens with the ball beyond that? Does it come free immediately, which would be play on?
Well, once the ball hits the ground, there's a certain part of me that says the tackle's complete as well. It's a lovely catch.
No trouble with the catch. He's quite the athlete, as we know. Let me check just the collision here between Saab and also Sami. Sami, shoulder to shoulder. They were both going towards the ball. No fault there, I wouldn't have thought, on either of them.
Just looking to determine whether Jason Saab has pushed in the back here.
He may have done, but it's inconsequential to what happens with Jermaine Asako. So we're going to pull this up, boy. We'll pull up everything.
Yeah, I agree, Warren. They've run shoulder to shoulder, and I think the first one, contact there, is okay.
That's all good. We're playing on there, then Sami stumbles over. Brimson, it's a little hand on the back, but it's not really
it doesn't affect
shove
Brimson.
from Jason Saab. And again, doesn't
Contact
affect
between Jason Saab and Philip Sami is both players heading back to the ball, but then Jason Saab has pushed AJ Brimson out of the contest. We have a decision.
Well, Asako was losing the ball, and that was going to be play on there. So they're going to get out of this with a get-out-of-jail-free card, the Gold Coast Titans. But my goodness, that's an interesting call.
Yeah, well, you can't push the player. I understand that. You can't push the player in the back. But did he play any part, Brimson play any part of the next part of the situation, which was Jermaine Asako catching the football and then losing it on contact? I'm not quite sure. But if we start looking at all these different things in a game, we're going to be here for a long time, Warren.
That was an interesting call, and it really helps the Gold Coast Titans out. It's about to be 16 points to nil, maybe 18 points to nil, the way that Garrick is kicking here this evening. For Suamala Awi will bring it forward. We'll see if the Gold Coast can make something off the back of that, perhaps piece of luck. Brimson stopped here, a strong tackle. Ola Kawatu.
Sometimes that's all you need, Warren, is a break like that down there and to turn the tide.
And a shift here. Sexton goes out the back. Asako finds Herbert. Two tanks out there on that right-hand side of the field in Herbert. And also Maju for the Gold Coast Titans. Here is the latter of them, bringing it back away from the sideline. They'll play it. Comes to Sexton, who was flat. A kick out wide for Philip Sami. Not quite the depth he was hoping for, or the hang time, and Garrick is there again for Manly to make an important catch.
Yeah, beautiful positioning by Garrick. Had a bit of help, a bit of protection. It was a nice kick just a metre into the field of play, and Garrick did a really good job to bring it down.
Strong tackle here. Taken down pretty heavily was Reuben Garrick. And now Walker down the short side, picks up 25 metres.
Oh, he needed to find Saab there, he's away.
Saab screaming for it, and he's outside. Kohler floating behind, not there, as Travojevic goes to four, and here's a big shift. Comes to Parker, Herbert under pressure there, but enough of Brad Parker to take him to the ground, and they'll play it just inside the 40. Manly fans baying for a penalty. Foran with the kick. Sarko makes the catch, grabbed there by Andrew Davey. After being under pressure at their own end, they've done well to have the Titans working it from deep inside their own 20.
He's been good, Andrew Davey. He nearly scored a try early on, and his kick chase there was outstanding. Hard man to catch, Jermaine Asako, but he nailed him first time.
Davey comes in here to get around the legs, and they take down the feeder to play it just outside the 20. And a shift to work it away from their own end. Fermor a chance here. Held up by Cherry Evans, and then Kohler it was who made the tackle around the legs. They come back to the middle. Jamin Jolliffe is on deck now. Strong run, equally good tackle by Walker. Brimson with time to move off a quick play the ball. Allowed to bounce the kick by Garrick. They'll bring it back. Chase line is a nice straight one from the Gold Coast Titans. And Garrick brings it back all the way to the 30. He's having quite the game here tonight. Manly well on top as a result. Tuipulotu. He picks up 15 metres. Rumbling down the field again, the Sea Eagles. Here is Saab coming in off the wing. What's happening there as you try to step in traffic back through the middle of the Titans' defence. Croker, Foran, flat pass there. Came back from Davey to Foran once again. Did well, Kieran Foran, not to knock that on under pressure from Patrick Herbert. It's Travojevic. Walker. Walker second now, trying to step his way into the backfield. They'll take him down. And Manly have one more here. 30 metres out. Cherry Evans on that left-hand side will kick towards Asako. Once again, he goes up and makes another good catch. And they stop him once more inside the 10. They're controlling where they turn the ball over, and the Titans doing it tough as it goes set for set at the moment.
Yeah, and they just need to be really tidy in about not jumping the gun or holding players down. The last two times they've been down in this area, and the Titans have got a penalty coming out quite easily. I just feel a little bit for David Fifita. He's such a quality player, but at the moment, all he is been trucking it out off his own try line and defending. He hasn't had a shot at him in the opposition's half.
And try and work it forward here through Jamin Jolliffe. One more play for the Titans. Clark out of dummy half. Don't know they realised that it was the last until he looked at the referee. Good kick in the end from Sexton under some pressure. Saab bring it back here. They'll stop him just inside the 30. So Manly will do it over again from a similar field position to their last couple of sets. Certainly noses in front of this back. It's almost like a game of McPherson's back at the moment. Kick for kick they go, and set for set. The ball has been in play for a long time here. Off the back of the no try for Jason Saab. Now there's a break. It won't help the Titans, though, because they'll be under the pump in a moment here as Manly will kick for line off the back of the penalty.
And that's the difference at the moment. We saw the Gold Coast Titans run down the far side, and we've got a challenge here.
Got a captain's challenge from the Titans, challenging the decision of ruck interference, mate.
Yeah, the Gold Coast Titans go down that far side and don't get a really good kick away. It actually comes off the side of his boot and comes over here, and Jason Saab captures on the full, and they're in good field position straight away, where Manly have been really controlled with their kicking game and put it exactly where they wanted every set.
This is going to be a wasted challenge.
Brian Kelly has pulled the leg of the ball carrier.
Coast. Brian Kelly with a leg grab there was hanging on as Olakau'atu was trying to play it. And while captain's challenges were all the talk off the back of their game last week against the Parramatta Eels, when they forced a situation where they gave one away to try and win the challenge, and did last week against Parramatta, but they're out of challenges tonight. That was a frivolous one at best. Half an hour gone. It's the Seagulls. They lead this 12 points to 0. Walker stopped here just outside the 30. Try and get him to ground, and they did eventually through Jared Wallace, fresh man on the field as well. Now Garrett on his right-hand side takes it inside the Titans 20. Croker jumps out, quick play the ball. Walker with his speed goes to the line. Here's Foran, turns it back on the inside for Davey again. Manly thought he was taken high. The referee disagreed. He's slowly back to his feet. Now Paseka stopped only just over the top there. Helping out Fermor was Jared Wallace. Big effort by him. Here's Jake Trebojevic. Takes it to the line. Another set restarts. Just a weight of possession going Manly's way. Now Foran finds Cherry Evans. Back on the inside. Olakau'atu! Galloping into space. Did he get it down, though? They might have been held up here for the second time in the game, the Seagulls.
Tackle 2. Have no try. Just confirm he's held up.
Well, if Jermaine Asako's held him up here, he was steamrolling forward. That is a big tackle if he's got underneath this one. He's a big man with leg speed. I think they have.
Underneath him in the end, it looks like Brimson has done enough to hold the ball up.
Well, Jermaine Asako took the first impact, and then Brimson's come in really quickly.
If he has, it's a third no try for the Seagulls in this opening half an hour. Watch it again. Able to get through the tackle there of Asako, but the ball doesn't hit the turf there.
Ball remains up at this
Brimson
stage and remains up at the conclusion.
Terrific
of the tackle.
effort.
We have a decision.
Those things change games. The Titans just need to turn the wheel a little bit now here and turn them away here again, because those things are big moments in games.
Comes back for the restart. Here is Walker now, weaving in traffic, heading out towards Olakau'atu once again. They've got tackles up their sleeve, off the restart. Olakau'atu, surely this time they can't stop him from close range. Again, quick play the ball from a metre out and pouring onto it. A little step, and the size of Hamoli Olakau'atu does the rest.
Yeah, some really smart play here from a number of people here. Croker at dummy half, he just gets in there, and a nice little show to the open and comes back. For me also, it's the threat of Daly Cherry Evans around the back, and that big man just once again getting one-on-one with Jermaine Asako, who's defending on that short side. He comes up quick and comes up sort of on an angle towards the sideline, and he rips his inside shoulder off. But quality play from the dummy half, the big back rower and the fullback.
A weight of possession in the last 5 minutes of the game, after it was a real arm wrestle for a period there. The Seagulls had 4 consecutive sets of 6 before Olakau'atu was able to plunge across from close range. Denied only moments before that with the effort of Asako and Brimson when he was held up, but he was a man on a mission second time around. And now Ruben Garrick from 10 metres to the right-hand side of the upright should be able to make this 18 points to 0. This is deja vu for the Gold Coast Titans. He loves playing against the Gold Coast, does Reuben Garrick. He's scored 9 tries now in 5 games, and he's kicked 3 goals as well as his own 4-pointer here tonight. It's all the Seagulls here at home at 4 Pines Park. Josh Aloiai back from the dressing room, James Hooper.
Yeah, there he is on the bench at the moment, Warren. So he has a right shoulder injury. Manly are saying he is available, but they are only going to use him if they absolutely have to. Picked up a burner early in the opening half, has had it treated, is okay. And isn't Hamoli Olakawadu monstering the Gold Coast defence, Warren? 2 tries, 2 tackle busts, a line break. He's on fire, the big unit.
One off a Cherry Evans kick from dummy half, 1 from a pass from Croker. Here is Paseka. They've got talent to burn on his right-hand side of the field, don't they? The power and the athleticism of Olakawatu, the speed of Kohler and also Saab, Manly. Big lead here. Still 7 minutes before the break as well. The Gold Coast just have to find a way to limit the damage here and concede no more points before half-time.
As they shoot down that short side. The Gold Coast haven't been too bad. They've only missed 7 tackles and they've completed 12 of 15. So it's not, they haven't been bad. It's just how good Manly have been.
They put the ball down. There is the commentator's curse, Flano, coming into effect. Give them a wrap and they put one down, the Seagulls. Paseka didn't hang on to that as he poured across the halfway line. We'll see what the Gold Coast can muster here. A little bit shell-shocked, though, at the moment. Sami playing it. Set restart here, so a bonus for the Gold Coast early in that set of 6. Kelly brings it back to the Manly 40.
Will Smith on a dummy half now, hoping to give him a bit of spark out of there.
There is Sexton coming back to the middle of the field, but well handled by Lachlan Croker. As good as Manly's attack has been, their defence has been outstanding for this half an hour plus now in this first half. Jolliffe at the 30. Another set restart here, holding down too long in the play. The ball was the call. And Manly under pressure here for a 3rd consecutive set of 6. It's Wallace. They'll play it eventually. Smith out of dummy half. Goes through the hands of Lasoni. Sexton. Here is a chance for the feeder. Did well. Asako finds the open spaces in behind the Seagulls. Did he get it down in time? Yes, he did. David Fafita again busting through tackles, keeping the ball alive, and Asako able to finish it off.
Yeah, some really good work from their middle forwards. They go deep into the try line and then play out the back, and there was space everywhere. That man, and he goes in, and then Sexton's got time. He gives it to Fafita. He fends off 2 and finds his fullback Jermaine Asako, who's come up with an error and had to do some big tackles and unfortunately missed a tackle for a try. But he finds himself into space and will be able to finish here. Nice show, gets the ball down.
The power of David Fafita there as he shrugs away from the tackle of Parker, holds off Andrew Davey. Extravagant show and go from Asako, reaching out to plant it down. Might have hurt a shoulder potentially there as he reached over the back of himself to plant the ball down.
Yeah, well, he gets a bit of criticism from David Fafita, but earlier on the Titans came down, they set up on the right-hand side of the field, which he is playing on, and attacked wide shape to the left. So there was 2 or 3 times they did that, and he couldn't get the football. And then all the football that he's had has been coming off his own try line. It's one of the first occasions that he's actually touched the ball in the opposition's 20, and that's when he's dangerous.
The Gold Coast Titans figured they had them exactly where they wanted them. With an 18-0 lead to Manly. They fought back here importantly before half-time. Sexton with the kick from out wide hits the upright. It stays at 18 points to 4. Not far out from half-time, of course. Braithen Astor and the boys back in the studio looking after this game, and then the big one beyond it, of course, with the Storm up against the Sharks. 2nd versus 3rd on the ladder coming into round 6. That will be a blockbuster. And David Fafita, once again, speaking of blockbusters, the bust, offend, pass and then a good finish from Jermaine Osako, who still had work to do. He knew that was tight. He hit the uprights of the Bob Fulton stand end of the field. It's Sexton.
Yeah, really important 4 minutes here that the Titans get some good field position, and where they turn the ball over to Manly, don't give them another shot at their try line before half-time.
We've seen some mood swings in games in recent times. Here's one right here. Osako on the carry, putting it down on a shift. They like that play, the Gold Coast. They've used it to good effect last season and also again in 2022. This one might cost them points though. It's Paseka who takes it down within 5 of the Titans line and drive him back. And they gambled and lost this time around, trying to surprise Manly with a shift off the restart. Vujovic will play it here. Comes from Croker, away to Walker, a little in and away. He's electric up against the tired forwards at the back end of the first half. Well stopped though this time, midway through the set. Cherry Evans again. Olakau'atu looking for a hat trick. Did he get there? It was a very close call.
Okay, Chits. Got no try. Just confirm knock on from Manly, mate.
What a threat he has become with Cherry Evans running to the line, drawing defenders, holding the defence up in the front line, and then Olakau'atu, quick over the first 10, gets very close to this. Brimson is there, or they both might have missed it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Warren. It just shows, but for me, risk v reward. The Gold Coast Titans didn't need to do that. The Manly side, they were clued up to it. They were ready for it. They get a pressure pass coming off their try line and then put themselves under all sorts of pressure in the last couple of minutes.
AJ Brimson has made first contact with the ball, looking to confirm whether it's touched by Haumole Olakau'atu.
There was just a fingertip touch there from AJ Brimson. I think Olakau'atu...
There's no touch by Manly.
Has missed it.
You can tell what the players are thinking. They were set up on a 30-metre line, thinking it was going to be a 20-metre restart. Now they'll get the dropout and they're going to be under enormous pressure again, the Gold Coast Titans. All self-inflicted. Risk v reward. I just think it was too much of a risk at that period of game. They just got back in with the try, and to try and shift on play one, not for me, Warren.
Osako under pressure. Here he is. At the back of that error that gave Manly the chance in that set. Supply the goal line dropout.
But a HIA, I think, also.
I think we do, yes. Trying out there now for... Well, he's going to be Jermaine Osako, who comes from the field. And that may well go all the way back to the try he scored some minutes ago now. He was a bit dusty getting back to his feet off the back of putting that down. And maybe with that in mind, of course, he made the error on the shift inside their own 20. Maybe he just wasn't completely with it. So it's an awkward one when you have to take the fullback off for an HIA. Aaron Clark comes back out on, and Will Smith is out there, of course. He might just slot straight back to fullback.
Yeah, he will. I think he's played that before. He'll handle it okay.
Shallowish dropout by the Titans. Paseka it is to bring it back. Gets away from Jolliffe, who hangs on to a bootstrap, and they'll play it just outside the 30. Cherry Evans goes across to Walker. Comes towards Clark and also to Feeder. Sonny was also there under pressure. Now 4, and Cherry Evans. Look at them wrapped to Olakau'atu again. Inside ball this time. Real pressure on the Titans. They did well through Wallace and also Aaron Clark. Here's a chance for Paseka. Comes back to Olakau'atu. Tries to hold off Brimson. They surround him now and take him down eventually, but it's a set restart again. First tackle right there for the Seagulls. Restart fest here in this first half. Foran at the line, showing it. Parker was there. Foran still going. The veteran. The battle-tested warhorse has been through everything in the game. He scores Manly's 4th try in this first half.
Yeah, well done, Kieran Foran. Daly Cherry Evans had shape to the left. He got it to his other halfback, Kieran Foran, and he had a lot of people in motion on the outside of him, which got the eyes of the Gold Coast Titans defenders. He goes deep into the line. They all had eyes for the ball runner. the runners on the outside of him. He shows and pushes through a tackle. Just smart play. He's gone out the back all game. And then on this occasion, no, I'm going for a run for myself. Beats a couple off the left foot. A great try.
He brings up try number 50. What has been a fabulous career, 244 games coming up here tonight. Showing it. Sexton looking out, coming across. Will Smith couldn't shut him down. He's been through so much. For a period there, you thought he would have been lost to the NRL, but he fought back through stints, of course. The Eels, the Warriors, the Bulldogs. We had more injury worries, but he has been rock solid since his return to the Northern Beaches. And what a combination they are, Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran. They put it all on display here tonight.
Yeah, the footy smarts between those two is amazing. You know, they've both been through a lot. They've played in big games, and to have them both in the same team, healthy and fit, just goes to show, and that's why we've got a scoreline like it has. They get their team around the park. They have beautiful decision-making, good kicking games.
And now Garrick continue his great night with the boot to this point. It's the Seagulls. Barely time for a restart here, who'll lead this one 24 points to 4. Why wouldn't you be dancing on the terraces here at Old Brookvale? Now 4 Pines Park. Watch it again. 2 shows. Everybody in the defensive line for the Gold Coast holding off, thinking he was going to pass it. Surely he was going to pass it. Nobody going to the man with the ball until it was too late.
Yeah, there's an old rule, you know, go 50% out the back, 30% hit the lead runner, and 20% yourself. And Kieran Foran's done exactly that.
What a moment for him. Brings up 50 tries in the NRL. Herbert with the restart. There'll barely be time for one play here. A trick shot from the Seagulls. Yes, there is. It's Cherry Evans kicking. Tui Pelotu coming across. So is Will Smith. He will grab the ball and take it out of play. Tries to launch a counter-attack of his own. If that was the option, you wonder why they didn't have Jason Saab out there on that left-hand side of the field. One play here for the Gold Coast. They're going to shift it again. Here's Sami. A bit of space in front of him. Fends away from Trbojevic. Now they round him up. He'll take the tackle there. He goes to ground. But what about this reception? For the Seagulls here at Brookvale tonight, they'll be on their feet, roaring themselves hoarse. Their side leads at half-time here at 4 Pines Park, 24 points to 4.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's put his hand up to carry the ball off their try line, and he's been so damaging when he's down the other end of the field. 2 tries. Such a big athletic man.
We are underway with Jermaine Asako having passed his HIA. Will Smith was filling in at fullback for a while there, so Asako back at fullback to begin this second half. Manly by 20. Warren Smith, Shane Flanagan, and James Hooper to bring you all the action of this second 40 before we take you south to Melbourne to the Storm up against the Sharks. Now from their own end, imagine a conservative set to begin here, just to establish something to get things underway. Bit of consolidation, as Des Hasler likes to term it. Davey inside his own 30. 4 plays gone. Garrick, play number 5, looking for a quick play the ball. Stopped there by Jared Wallace. Holds him down, but let's play on. Last play here, and Cherry Evans with a tumbling kick. Bounce down there to Philip Sami to bring it back. They'll need to be very good in this second half. They'll need more possession than they had in the first half. The Gold Coast Titans, they only had 40% last week in the first half against the Eels. Tonight, 45%, so they're headed in the right direction, but they need to get the better of possession first and foremost here in this second half.
Yeah, and a really poor start from the Titans. They've still got 2 players this side of the football, haven't got behind the play. It's tackle 3, and they're still not in the field position.
That is a concern. Sam Wasoni, one of them, very slow getting back behind the play the ball as they worked it away from their own end. Comes from Will Smith. Here's Wallace. Kind of wind up. Stopped there by Trbojevic though. And now Sexton. Hook it back into what he was hoping was going to be green pastures. Instead, Jason Saab just floats across the ground as he does. Makes the catch. And Manly will begin here just inside their own 20. Second set. in possession for the home side in this second half, in front of a very big Brookvale crowd here tonight. Parker, on the holiday weekend, they've come out to watch their informed team go around to try and make it 4 wins on the trot. They are very much on target at the moment. Tuipulotu playing it just on his own side of halfway. Croker from out of dummy half. Speaking of open pastures, there's plenty there, a good kick. Asako on his bike to track all the way to the corner. It's a great kick, a heads-up play from Lachlan Croker to have the Titans now working it away from inside their own 10.
Yeah, such an advantage when your dummy half can get out and kick. It was in the great field position for a right foot kicker. He punched it down to his right-hand side and he had the chase to match. Now they're going to test the Titans to see if when they roll their sleeves up and get out of their end.
Come into this right-hand side, Herbert, who was hard to stop when he winds up, and Brad Parker hits and sticks there. Good defence by the left centre. Marju off the back of that, bumping away from the tackle of Davey. He puts it down, Marju. The Titans thought it might have been ripped out. Of course, they used their captain's challenge. A rather poor challenge in the first half. They're out of it now. There's a problem on the ground here. Daniela Paseka, who was prone for a moment on the manicured turf of Brookvale in 2022. On his feet again now. Just watch this. Davey sat in the seat of his pants, and then Tuipulotu was there. Oh, and there's a head clash, a bit of friendly fire between Davey and Paseka.
It's always a problem when you have a ball, such a powerful ball runner like Marju that leads with that ball carrying arm. He actually uses it in contact, and if you've got good first contact as an opposition defender, sometimes you can rattle it loose, and that's what happened on that occasion.
We'll wait and see if Davey's able to stay on the field for the moment. Getting some advantage applied to the cut that he suffered in the collision with Paseka. See if the doctor has something more to say about what he saw from Andrew Davey. Walker shaking his head as he plays the ball. Cherry Evans tries to get away from Sam Lasone. Just inside the 20, so he'll play the ball again. He was flat on his back like a turtle there for a moment, Cherry Evans. They held him down a long time. Play is the call. Here's Olakawate looking for a hat trick. They're playing for Garrick. Comes back Cherry Evans, grubbers, misses everything. Herbert cleans it up, looks up, sees plenty of Seagulls in front of him, and almost brings it back, but they trap him just in time. It'll be a goal line dropout coming up for the Gold Coast. Another superb kick from Cherry Evans.
Yeah, he's too smart for him. He puts it hard. He aimed for the post. He missed the post, but it was never going to go dead. And a good chase. And he did pretty well, Herbert. He nearly got out, but there's too many Manly defenders in that in goal.
So Toby Sexton there, clean bowled, no DRS required. Straight between the pickets. Paseka will play it here. It's Croker. Supplied the kick to put them under pressure. Here is Parker. They're just outside the 10. Good tackle there. Again, Manly appealing for a penalty. Marju taking a risk there. Walker. Cherry Evans. Comes away to Garrick. Oh, put down there by Collar. Not a great pass from Reuben Garrick, it has to be said. Just a little bit low out in front of Tolu Kola, and they've let the Gold Coast Titans off the hook here. Parker, this looked promising until this contact here from Marju. It took a long time to get off Brad Parker. Must have tested the referee's patience. He was happy that it was play on. It was building to the right-hand side as well. Yeah, Kieran Foran got a nice shot in the back play there as well, and when they shifted to the right, it was a little bit clunky. They weren't on song like they have been in previous all their shots to that right-hand side, but get a real good opportunity now here, the Gold Coast Titans, just to consolidate, get a good start to this second half, get some field position, maybe with some repeat sets or a penalty, and build their footy game. Well, they win the scrum, they'll work it away from their own end. The magic of the Premiership, that's real, of course, from the athletes who play it to the fans who love it. Plenty of them here tonight. The best way to experience the Premiership is live. Secure your seats now at nrl.com/tickets. Manly fans could vouch for the experience here this evening. They lead 24 points to 4. We've had 6.5 minutes in this second half, no change to our half-time scoreline. As Smith will play it. And Wallace comes through the hands. Again, a pass goes to ground for Feeta. Finds a ball out the back for Toby Sexton. He straightens off that left foot, but well tackled by Lachlan Croker and Paseka. Last play here. They need some results as early as this in the second half. Brimson puts it up. Underneath it was Jason Saab, who makes a strong catch. And they'll begin here just outside their own 10, but their handling has been tremendous, Manly. They were 22 from 24 sets in the first half.
Yeah, it's fantastic football. And where they had their football as well, they just put the Gold Coast Titans under too much pressure, try line pressure and scoreboard pressure, and then they used the clock as well. The Titans got that kick, they scored the try, and then from the kick-off they tried to shift, so they just got inside the Titans' head, and we've got an injury here, but they just need to stick in there, the Titans. I thought that was a better set. They just need to have big blocks of football without any points. Definitely not any points from Manly. If they can achieve that, then all of a sudden the fatigue factor is going to come in for the Manly. But at the moment, Manly aren't fatigued at all.
With pressure on the back of the neck here, Shane. Christian Tuipulotu. Jared Wallace arguing the toss. Sam Masone was involved in that tackle as well, and no doubt the bunker.
Play the ball there, tackle 3.
We'll whisper to the referee, and they're going to say that it's play on and nothing untoward as far as the contact was concerned. They're all smiles to Pilotu and Losone. The four Warriors right there. On the right-hand side, it goes through Walker, away to Olakauatu. The ball hit the deck there. Seen by the touch judge if that was the case. Walker under pressure, uses his speed to get away from the defence, then chips in behind them, coming forward. What a catch and a chance here for Asako, bringing it back at speed. Manly were pouring down the field. Asako grabbed it and was going at a rate of knots in the other direction. Brings it all the way back to the halfway line.
Back, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Walker wasn't expecting that football, but as you said, his just speed got him down that sideline. He gets a kick in, and Daly Cherry Evans chased really hard.
Now on this right-hand side, they're set for Brimson. Here's Asako again. Herbert going sideways though. Put the brakes on to come away from the sideline, and the tackle there of Parker and also Ford. Long pass. Sexton has to wait for it though. Jolliffe goes back to the middle where Walker makes the stop. And the Gold Coast have one more. Yes, Lasone looks in, goes out. Sexton at the line, rubbering, trying to return serve. Good kick, taken dead by Manly. Saab again taking no chances, and the Gold Coast will get a repeat set.
Yeah, nice shape. Sexton kicks off the back of having shape out to the left. Nicely weighted, and he just makes Saab with the kick pressure as well. And the kick chase here just makes him play.
It's tough for the Gold Coast to match what Cherry Evans and Foran can bring, as many games as they've played in the NRL, of course. Toby Sexton in game number 10 tonight. AJ Brimson a handful of games in the 5/8 role. The kick goes down to Sexton. Job to bring it back. And they'll play it here just outside the 30. Dylan Walker might have been hurt here. Maybe a right arm or shoulder situation for him. He's down behind the play. It's going to be play on for the moment as the Manly trainer gets out there to see the nature of the situation is for Dylan Walker. So Manly down a player in that offensive line inside their own red zone. It's Lasonic. Play it there from Smith. It goes to Sexton. They keep it going to AJ Brimson. Away from now, Kelly waits at dummy half for Smith. Shows it. There's a chance. Saka link up with Fafita. Trying to use his strength. Boy, he needs some lower body strength to stay in the field of play there. Brad Parker really at his hands full trying to stop him. Pass goes to ground. Sexton kicking out wide. Chance out there for Kelly and also Sami. They reel it in. Good hands. Brimson. Kelly will score in the corner. What a piece of play by the Gold Coast. Some aerial work. A tap back. It comes to Kelly. And they had to be first to score in this second half, and they are.
And that's a reward for patience. a really nice kick the previous set where Sexton got it in and Saab had to just knock it over to the try line. Their set wasn't the greatest set, but they competed on the kick, and they might have got a little bit lucky, but it doesn't matter how you get your points sometimes, and the Gold Coast Titans needed just Manly to defend their try line for a couple of sets and then to come up with points. Now the test is to get out of their end and put Manly under pressure again and let them start to look at the scoreboard and the clock.
As far back as they are, 20 points at half-time, they'll need to keep scoring tries and convert them. So the pressure on Toby Sexton from out there on the sideline. Good tap back by Philip Sami. Brimson very quickly realised they had numbers on his outside, and the former Sea Eagle grabs the 45th try of his NRL career. Try confirmed. It's the green light from the bucket. There wasn't too much to be concerned about there, I didn't think.
Big kick.
If they make a comeback, there'll be lots of big kicks coming up here in the second half for the young number 7. Trying to bend it back. It misses to the left-hand side. It stays at 24 points to 8, James Hooper.
Yeah, the Gold Coast coach, Justin Holbrook, challenged Toby Sexton in the lead-up to this game, Warren. He said he wanted him to come out of his shell a little bit more, take some risks, chance his arm. Well, the Gold Coast have done that there. They have given themselves some hope. Brian Kelly spent some time at the Manly Seagulls, now back at the Gold Coast. He knows Brookvale Oval well.
Returning from a COVID protocol himself for this game here tonight. Grabs the try that perhaps launches the comeback, as they did manage last week against the Eels, and they really made things tight.
Stay on.
Up there on their own patch of turf. Cherry Evans. With the restart, goes down to Asako. He'll give it off, and Jolloff will turn his shoulder to the grindstone here and play it just inside his own 20. Will Smith, the dummy half. Goes through the hands there of Wallace. How adventurous are they going to be? How adventurous do they need to be? Find out. Here's Lasonic. Flat pass there. Wallace looking for an offload. The fullback pushing up there. Perhaps Asako, one of the speed men. There was a big chance. Kelly now pushing up off the back of the run by Will Smith. Set restart here. Big chance to go back-to-back in quick succession until that moment. Sexton puts it down. Boy, talk about a passion killer.
Yeah, it was looking so promising for the Titans. A beautiful set after points. They come up to the 40-metre line, and a beautiful pass puts Wallace through the hole. That one there, that's a ripper. Gets his nose down. They get 6 again. And then, unfortunately, they go to the shape again. And the young halfback was thinking about what he was going to do rather than catching that football. Just lets Manly off the hook.
Full set of 6. Momentum. Manly backpedaling inside their own 20. And that happens as simply as that. But as we said, just game number 10 tonight for Toby Sexton in the NRL. Don't forget about Easter Monday footy right here live on Fox. The Eels up against the Tigers from Combank Stadium. It's become the traditional Easter Monday game now. Of course, they opened the stadium up a couple of seasons back with a big win for the Eels against the Tigers on the same occasion. See how they fare. That's Monday, 4 p.m. live on Fox League. The Eels and the Tigers. Wes desperate for something, anything at this stage after an 0-5 beginning to the season. Travojevic out the back. Cherry Evans here. Takes it inside the 30. Grabbed there by Brimson. Last tackle for Manly, and Foran puts it in the air. Some pressure here on Asako. Standing underneath it. Oh, Manly Chase has got there to make a contest of that. They'll try and drive him back, though. They will win that contest. 4 of them in the end, driving Asako back to force a goal line dropout.
Yeah, outstanding kick, and then an outstanding chase and defence on the back of it. They just put you under so much pressure, Manly, with their kicking game. They score points with it, but they're also defensively, they're so good with it. An attacking kick there, sorry, a defensive kick there ended up turning up to a real positive. I was really impressed with young Davey, the back rower. He's just gone and been interchanged, but he's been really good tonight. He's been in the wars the last 5 or 10 minutes.
The Olakawatu on the other side of the field, who will play it here just outside the 30 for the Seagulls. Aloiai back on deck. That's a good sign after leaving the field early in the contest through a shoulder problem. Now Sean Kepi will take it forward. Just inside the 20 they play it. Croker from dummy half. It comes to Trbojevic. Foran was there. Garrick got the chance though. Bumps away from Sexton. Still going, Reuben Garrick. It's going to be a penalty for an obstruction play. A bit of a mix-up on this left-hand side. Carl Lawton is also out there now for the Seagulls. He runs a decoy and collides there with David Fifita. Then Garrick goes back through the hole where Fifita was going to be. A good call by the referee.
Yeah, he just knew onto the field. Carl Lawton, he just mistimed his run there. Manly, once again, just wasted an opportunity down that end, just gifting the Gold Coast Titans, who, from the second half, have been the better team.
There's Firma a chance on that left-hand side. Back to the halfway line. Gold Coast making a better fist of defending their own line in this second half after being picked apart 4 times in that first 40 minutes. Sami doing some dancing on that left edge, but we'll play it here. About 45 out on the Manly line. Tackles up their sleeve, though, in their set. They're very deep. Long open side here as it comes from Wallace to Fasuamala-Awi. Just a lack of speed. The ball just very laboured there, passing at the moment through the middle. Now a chance, Herbert off of Fifita, gets away from Parker, watch him wind up, he takes them on, runs to Trbojevic, that's never advisable, it comes back to Fifita, he'll win the race, David Fifita does it again! Off the back of Herbert, the offload in the Trbojevic tackle, it came back to Fifita. And when he winds up, it's all over.
Wow, wow, wow. It looked like the play was dead. He goes back inside Herbert, a really strong run, and then he gets a real late offload, and they come out to this man, early ball to him, one-on-one, and then the acceleration through that gap and the fend. He is one hard man to stop, or can you stop him in that sort of situation? I'm not quite sure. But as I said, Warren, this side, the Gold Coast Titans, they can score points in blocks. And we've seen them at different occasions blow half-time leads, but then once again they've come back in different stages and scored blocks of points. And it's a side that you don't want to gift them a field position because they can jag points, as we just saw.
Well summed up by Aaron Clark off the back of the run by Herbert and the offload. And what looked to be a tremendous tackle by Jake Trbojevic, and you thought the movement had stopped dead right there, but instead the offload came back to Clark, and he knew who had to get it. Here is Sexton. It'll hit the upright for the second time tonight. Can't convert one at the moment. It's still a 2 converted try game, James Hooper.
Scored one of the tries of the season, individual tries of the season last week, Warren. He's backed it up again tonight. What about the big left don't argue fend on Kieran Foran? David Fifita over the crowd, Warren. They're out in force. They want to do the Eagle Rock here at 4 Pines Park tonight. 16,220.
And there's a big crowd here at Brookvale. You see how packed they are in at the back of the hill there. The famous old hill. Feels like the old days. We turn back the clock to the Battle of Brookie when they would come here. 18, 19,000 to see the Seagulls take on the Melbourne Storm. A bit of atmosphere here tonight. Might be a few nervous Manly fans, though, suddenly. 2 tries to the Titans. Herbert makes a trap off an attempted short restart by Cherry Evans, angled towards the sideline. And it's all the Gold Coast with the momentum at the moment. Big tackle there. Over the top, Sean Kepi, who really can hit. He takes down Marju, now Wallace. He finds some traffic in the middle of the field there through Croker and also Olakawatu. They're off the back of the short restart from Cherry Evans. Well, that was an interesting call in itself. Here they are on the attack. Play number 5 in this set, Kelly. Top down, good tackle there by Tolu Kola. They'll play it on the last. It comes back. Brimson puts it up. Pressure here. Nobody, in fact, will make a play as far as Manly are concerned. It comes back to the Titans, and then Wallace goes wide, puts a kick in, allowed to bounce. Marju is there, still the last. He'll die with it. That wasn't the play Justin Holbrook was hoping for.
Yeah, Jared Wallace, he had a brain snap there. He just needed to find one of his halves or his hooker and then for them to decide what they wanted to do with the football. He gets the opportunity to kick and it just goes sideways, and it wasn't the right kick or at the right time. Where do you tackle David Fafita when he's in that mood down there? If you go high, you get the fend that Kieran Foran got, or if you go around his legs, you'll pull out of there. He's such a hard man to defend against when he's in that mood.
I suggest you start with a baseball bat. Might be your best move, is taking one onto the field with you, because good luck just using your hands. Olakuatu to play. Cherry Evans shows it, fends away from Brimson, stays alive until he's taken down there by Brian Kelly. They've got one more here, 15 out from the Gold Coast line. Foran to kick, a mid-depth one, tapped backwards by Garrick. Comes back to Aloye. Oh, I thought he was going to have back-to-back kicks by front rowers there for a moment. Instead, they go wide. Olakuatu, grabbed by Brimson. The second rower does put a kick in. It's the Gold Coast who end up with it. And Sami away down that left-hand side. Grabbed just by Cherry Evans, otherwise he was away.
Yeah, it's contagious. Two poor kicks, not by the kickers. Des Hasler won't be happy with that set end.
We saw one from Wallace, and I thought for a moment there Josh Aloye was going to follow suit and put one in himself. Now Fafita. Good tackle there, Kieran Foran. That's how you stop David Fafita. You've got to get to him, though, before he's taken 2 steps.
Well, he's still got his fingerprints on his face from the last one.
That might be the case. Might need some forensics to work out exactly how big that hand is. Through Isaac Liu, Brimson puts it down. Boy, both halves in this second half, and it was just building for the Gold Coast. Around about that same part of the field as well, 35 metres out. Sexton put one down earlier, now Brimson puts one down. That really is a killer.
Yeah, both halves just not thinking about what they need to do. They're looking to pass rather than catch it first and then go. They should take a leaf out of Kieran Foran's book and just catch and run.
And it's 4 tries to 3, with the difference at the moment is 12 as the Sea Eagles work it towards the Bob Fulton stand end of 4 Pines Park. Cherry Evans to play it. And Croker goes to Travojevic. Here is Foran. He's got Garrick out the back. 3-on-2 defensively for the Gold Coast. So Tuipulotu, nothing doing there for him. Plenty of sky blue shorts and white jumpers on this side of the field. Foran, the kick again, just another weighted one. Olakuatu is there. He's a real leaper. He was thereabouts as well. A great effort by Kelly to beat him to the ball. Brian Kelly trying to pinch about an extra 3 or 4 metres here. Will be forced to go back inside his own 10 and play it.
A lot of hands on hips from the Gold Coast Titans behind the play the ball. This is where they need their outside backs to come in and take a bit of pressure off their middle forwards.
There is a ton of time left in this game if they're good enough. And they get a penalty here as well. That'll certainly help things out. Manly have stopped on their run after being tremendous in that first 40. Out to a 24 points to 4 lead.
Exactly what you needed from Greg Marju there. He just comes in, does a real powerful run. He's hard to handle, so the defensive side scramble in their tackle tech and can't control his run and give a penalty away. Now the Gold Coast Titans get an opportunity to suck him in, get a kick away, and they'll be in really good field position.
Test here. Lachlan Kroger's going to get the standing 8. I'm checking. Jaw. Really concernedly popped a whack here as Beau Fermel brought it out. Head in the wrong position there. That certainly wouldn't have helped his cause. Bat on for the moment. So the Titans. Isaac Liu. He takes carry number 1. They begin inside the Manly 40. And a set restart as well. Possession really flowing back their way. We said they needed the better of possession in this second half. They've got that to this point. Saka, 25 metres out. Full set from close range again. Herbert, he finds Sexton. Here's Aaron Clark. Slows things down. Now he gets going. Brimson, Olakuatu closes the door. Says, you're not coming through here, my lad. What a tackle. Isaac Liu. He charged at them as well. Sean Kepi, who really can hit, as we mentioned a moment ago. He was there to back up the work of Ola Kawatu. Great contact. Here's Smith. Pass goes to ground. Poor one from Sexton. They need some composure from their young halves here tonight. Game is there. Still for the Gold Coast if they're good enough. Now we've got a whistle. The trainer on the field.
Doctors asked for the game to be stopped. It's a HIA on you, Lachlan. The doctors asked for the game to be stopped.
And it's
HIA.
Croker who's going to come from the field. The independent doctor, I'm suggesting, from the bunker has got involved and said, stop the game, take Lachlan Croker from the field.
I just wish the Gold Coast would stop trying to go from sideline to sideline with their attack. They've got to think about playing through them first. Go through them, set up a far post or a left or right post and then have a shot. But at the moment, they've gone from sideline to sideline and haven't pulled the Manly forwards into the middle part of the field.
A second bump there for Lachlan Croker, who caught the elbow. A bit of friendly fire there from Sean Kepi. Dylan Walker's going to come back on, take over at dummy half for Croker. I'll make that change now. Here we were midway through the set, passing the Gold Coast Titans wanted. As the player to be stopped. The duty of care for the player is first and foremost. Will Smith at the line. Liu just outside the 20. Kawatu again strong defensively with Carl Lawton. Comes back to the middle. Smith at speed. Fasua Malawi into space. Here comes the Gold Coast. What a run by the skipper. They have got Manly struggling here at home at the moment. And Fasua Malawi with a flying mullet just poured through a hole.
Well, maybe the break-in play was a blessing for the Gold Coast Titans because they got the opportunity to set up. And then Will Smith's is a man. He just goes to the line with his big back rower, hitting a beautiful line. And they've gone out the back all night. On this occasion, they've made the right decision. Play early to him in space, and he just does the rest. A really much needed try at this time. As I said, the Gold Coast were just paddling a little bit at the moment, but that just puts them back into the game.
Terrific run and pass. Draw defence from Will Smith and put this man through a hole. From a Melbourne Storm back rower, 22 years of age, handed the captaincy of the Gold Coast Titans at the beginning of this season, and now from not quite right in front, they are very much must-kick conversions now for Toby Sexton. No drama this time around. Flags up. It's a one converted try game at 24 points to 18. What a beauty this is turning into being, James Hooper.
Cracking contest, Warren, and Shane Flanagan called it. He said, I'd love to see the Gold Coast try and go a little bit through more the middle rather than coast to coast to their edges. Will Smith holds up a precision pass, and big Tino Fasua Malawi try and stop him that close to the line.
Well, this place has been loud all night, right from the opening exchanges when Manly were well on top. But boy, with a quiet lull off the back of that try, they'll try and get behind their team again now. Don't forget, the Storm and the Sharks beyond this one. COVID concerns for the Melbourne Storm. Sharks have their own issues also in that regard. It's second versus third. A blockbuster live coming up right here on Fox League. Don't go anywhere.
Well, when we had the first half, the Manly Seagulls looked so sharp in attack because they didn't have to do too much defence. They were fresh every time they had the football and they got into good field position. The second half, it's just been flipped around. Gold Coast Titans now tackle 3, approaching the 50-metre line, and the Manly Seagulls have got a bit of fatigue about them.
Second half, the Gold Coast have had 60% of the ball. Here is Smith going out, knocked on by the Titans. It'll come back for a knock on there in the tackle. Telegraph pass out there wide for Beau Fermor, who can't believe it. But they put it down, and Tolu Kola coming up with a big play.
He's been fantastic defensively. He's had a really big job out there as a young centre, marking a really experienced centre, and he's come up with a really good read there. But I wish James Hooper would run out and tell the Gold Coast Titans to play through the middle, stop trying to go round them.
They didn't take the tip off off the back of the try scored by Fasua Mala'awi. Just a miscommunication there in the middle of the field. That really hurt the timing. Smith wanted to go to Fermor earlier, but a decoy came through, made him double pump it. That gave Kohler the time to get up and put all the pressure on Fermor. Well, they can just set the ship straight with a try here, Manly. And the crowd finds its voice again. Foran back on the inside. Kepi taken down there by Clark. Lost the ball as well. It'll be a knock on, and the Gold Coast survive.
In a bit of trouble here, Kepi. I think his head's contacted the ground.
All right, time off here. Sean Kepi's not well.
Oh, I think you're right as well. He does look very groggy, back on his haunches now, but it's a terrific tackle by Aaron Clark to take him down. Watch this again as he cuts back on the inside, never quite had the ball securely, and Clark was able to take him to the ground heavily, and then all the whiplash of his head into the turf as well. That'll be game over, unfortunately, for Sean Kepi with just 12 minutes remaining. They lose a lot there as far as what he brings defensively in the middle of the field. He can certainly hit, and we'll wait and see what the change is. Andrew Davey, the man with the interchange card in his hand, yes, on the sideline. Below us here in the Jane Try stand at Brookvale. Boy, he might need to see a replay of that incident to see what happened there, Sean Kepi. He does look very dusty indeed as he comes from the field.
Ruby Garrick in back play, he's not moving that well either. I think it might be a left knee. He'll stay out there, but he's not moving that well. The Gold Coast Titans just need to make sure that they don't try and play around Manly. They've got speed on their edges. The centres and wingers have been defending really well. And when the Gold Coast look best is when they're playing that short passing game between their middle forwards.
As they work it away, a quick reminder about Benji on 7:30 p.m. Monday nights. This week, we'll talk to Harry Grant and Nico Hines. Storm and the Sharks, of course, two stars right there. They are next beyond this game. That's Benji, 7:30 p.m. Monday nights. The Gold Coast play it here. Pushing with their own 30 now, very slowly back to his feet is Philip Sami, who's got a problem with a right shoulder or arm. And of that collision, Will Smith, nothing doing these first few plays for the Gold Coast. Isaac Liu steps to the outside there. David Fafita getting involved, and the Manly fans screaming for an obstruction as Liu plays it. Goes to Sexton, who puts it up. Saab coming forward. No real pressure on him, just on the kick. Goes right, comes back left. Stopped there by Fermor. Oh, thought about a pass. He put Kohler under all sorts of pressure there. They need to keep their heads, Manly. They still lead this by 6 points, but you wouldn't know it at the moment.
No, definitely not. If I'm Justin Holbrook, I'm going out to my halves and giving him the message, you need to get the ball to David Fafita at least 2 or 3 times in this last 10 minutes. It's your job. It's not David Fafita's job. You get him the football.
And they come back to the middle. Aloye. They'll play it there, just outside the Gold Coast 40. Here is Kroger, going to step back away from David Fafita, wrapped up through the middle there by Smith and also Clark. Last play, Cherry Evans. Again, the game in a blur with his kicking. There's a chance here for Jason Saab, who puts it down. Brimson with a gather. He'll turn, bring it back towards the 20. Manly just can't get repeat sets or put any real pressure on the Gold Coast for the moment. Now, Amoli Olakawatu was down with cramp on the far side of the field.
Yeah, there's a few players struggling to get back behind the ball for the Gold Coast Titans as well. Aaron Clark's still back here. He's just getting behind the play of the ball now. This is where you need your outside backs to come out and help the big boys out. Fight hard to get a penalty.
Well, the Gold Coast probably don't realise it, but Olakawatu still behind the play. Here is Clark going back to the left-hand side. That's where they need to go, because that's where Olakawatu defends. He's still some 25 minutes behind the play. He can't take a step. He might have cramp in both calf muscles.
Get up, get up!
Back at the halfway line, the Titans on the last play. Goes back to Sexton. Puts up a towering kick. Now it's Garrick under pressure. They'll let him make the catch, and then make the tackle on him. It was Will Smith coming through, drives him to the ground. Philip Sami has come from the field with that shoulder or arm problem on that left edge for the Gold Coast. And Ola Kawatu,
he's off the far side.
He's off. He can't walk at the moment, Hamoli Ola Kawatu. So another change forced in the forward pack for Des Hasler and the Sea Eagles. Cherry Evans at the halfway line. Boy, there's been some drama in this game in the last 5 minutes. Still just less than 9 minutes remaining. It is Walker. Steps away, stays alive, fends away from Brimson, comes back to the middle. Here is Paseka, fresh man on the field. Grabbed from behind by Will Smith. Little man on big man. Cherry Evans feigned a kick, step back inside them, kicks out wide. A chance, it sits off a point, goes into touch. Tuipulotu was there, couldn't quite get the bounce he was looking for.
Yeah, the kick was perfectly placed. The winger just needed to be on his touchline and come outside in. He might have been a chance to gather that, but Daly Cherry Evans just too smart. He goes, a couple of people rushing him to put the kick away. He takes his time. Cooper Cronk type kick across the sideline there. Unfortunately, they don't come up with a result. Really important for the Titans here now is just to work the Manly side over in the middle part of the field. They've got a few changes. They've got players off, players injured. Work the middle part over.
Good run by Fasua Mala'awi. That's what they need more of, as you've kept saying, Shane Flanagan. Through the middle is where they have to go. Now they turn it underneath. Chance for Fodawaker there. Quick play the ball as well. Walker left on the ground behind them. Here is Fafita. Good tackle again by Foran. An offload comes back to Sexton. He goes to Isako. A chance for Brimson to go to the extremities. Isaac Liu is out there trying to pass in the tackle. He puts it down. Saab has it for Manly. He'll go to Cherry Evans. He throws a dummy. Brings it back to the halfway line. They just need to, if they can call timeout, Manly, they would, because they are out on their feet.
Yeah, Daly Cherry Evans once again come up with a big tackle there. Isaac Liu tried to push the pass. He was out to playing at 3. Probably just should have taken the tackle. There's plenty of tackles up their sleeve. Manly in really good field position now, and Daly Cherry Evans will run the show.
Certainly it's the Gold Coast in the ascendancy as far as energy reserves in this game are concerned. Paseka playing it here. Is it field goal time? 6.5 remaining. Cherry Evans out the back. Has kicked a couple in recent weeks. Finds Tolu Kola. He'll play it 15 metres out. Cherry Evans getting the first receiver. Wants another carry towards the uprights. Walker obliges. Goes to Paseka. Comes back to Dylan Walker. Turns it back on the inside. Garrick sees a bit of space. They'll stop him a metre short. Last tackle here for the Sea Eagles. They try and go from dummy half. The ball comes free. Picked up by the Gold Coast. It'll be a knock-on against Manly.
Daly Cherry Evans was in position to go for the 1.2. Unfortunately, they've had a shot at dummy half, but he wanted the ball.
They're going to use their captain's challenge, I guess, with 5 to go, leading by 6. Why not?
Manly. Challenging the on-field decision of knock-on.
Both teams out on their feet, Warren. There's players cramping on their haunches, stretching everywhere, both sides. It's been a really fast game, a lot of ball in play.
So Lawton goes from dummy half.
Ball's been picked up cleanly. There's no interference on Ruben Garrick.
On his back, and then Lawton just loses the ball. I think this is going to be exactly what we thought. Gold Coast possession.
Looking to confirm the impact of Tino Fa'asuamaleaui.
Well, they can't penalise Tino for being where he is. He's made the previous tackle. Yeah, he's got to roll out of the play the ball, but I think he is.
Well, he does get involved, though.
Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, from an offside position, has interfered with the play.
That's exactly that angle there shows it pretty clearly. He got involved in the effort in trying to stop Carl Lawton. This is going to be a Manly penalty right beside the uprights. And you'd imagine they'll be taking the 2.
You can guarantee yourself that. Des Hasler's already sent the message out. Well, maybe not. Ruben Garrick hasn't gone close to the ball.
They'll take all the time they can off the clock here. And Daly Cherry-Evans says yes, we'll have 2 to make this an 8-point game.
Well, interesting that Ruben Garrick's not goal kicking. I know it's straight in front, and Daly Cherry-Evans is a good goal kicker, but he has been limping out the back a lot of the time in the second half. He must be carrying an injury.
Cherry-Evans in his career kicks at just over 70%. He could throw this one over quite obviously. Hasn't had an attempt so far. And 2022, if he's going to get one, this is the one you want, right beside the uprights, to make it an 8-point lead with just on 5 minutes remaining. He adds the 2 points that takes us beyond a converted try, the difference. Here at Brookvale, Manly 26, the Gold Coast 18. What are the tactics now, coach, as far as the Gold Coast are concerned? Surely they're thinking short kickoff here.
Yeah, they'll go a short kickoff, and then they'll start thinking about one-on-one steals and probably some hands in and around the play of the ball, but they need possession. 4 minutes 50, they'll get a couple of shots at him, but they'll need some as well. Manly's mindset, just get good field position, wrap that football up and let Daly Cherry-Evans or Kieran Foran kick it to corners.
Sasako looking to his left-hand side. Now he comes back out to the right-hand side. Daly has to break the plane, and it's not going to do that. If they were to be a chance, you figured they had to at least get a legal kickoff in. Asako can't provide one, whether it came to Manly or not. Had to get it to go the 10, and now Manly can bring it down the field, take more time off the clock, and make it very tough for the Gold Coast here.
Yeah, I'm sure he wished he could have his time again with that kick. Got a little bit too fancy, shaped he was going to kick to his left, then come back to his right real late.
That's the Seagulls trying to put this one to bed. Garrick it is, who takes it inside the 20. Back to the middle. Aloye will just drive towards the line. This crowd finds its voice once again. It's loud at Brookie tonight. Foran flat pass there. Seka bouncing off defenders. Eventually taken down about 5 metres out. Pinches a couple of metres. They go from dummy half through Lawton looking for an option. He finds Foran eventually. That took some doing. Foran learns a tackle right there. 3.5 remaining. 8 the difference. Walker finds Cherry-Evans. It goes out to Kohler. His speed for the line. Did he get it down? I don't know that he did.
Oh, I hope he does, Warren, because he's been fantastic defensively. He's carried the ball strong. He's been determined every time he carries it.
Just confirm he's held up. And also just review the contact when he makes the tackle.
In game number 3 in his NRL career, looking for his first try at this level of the game. He went close, he got down low coming across. Some desperate defence there from the Titans. The ball hits the deck, but it looked like he was short on that angle there.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. He's pulled up a little bit short. He made a good decision to get down low, and he's come in contact with some of the
initial
Titans
contact
defenders.
with the ball and ground is short of the line from Tolu Kola, and it remains up at the conclusion of the tackle. We have a decision.
He's been very, very good. Defensively, he's been good. He's been powerful when he's carried the football. Hasn't played a lot of first grade, but he's a first grader.
It's the last tackle.
The 19-year-old denied his first 4-pointer. And the big time right there. In front of the Bob Fulton stand, no less. He'll play it. Lawton comes back. Cherry-Evans, Grubbers looking for the uprights. Awkward one here for Fafita. Even the incredible Hulk can't bring it back. Oh, yes, he can. How did he do that? Keeps it alive for the Gold Coast Titans. Now Manly give away a penalty, and there's still 3 remaining.
Yeah, there's some hope. Just a real long kick here. They need to score points from this set.
Storm and the Sharks to follow this one on a big Easter weekend doubleheader. Live on Fox League. Timeout now.
Tolu. HIA Tolu.
It's going to be Tolu Kola who comes from the field. Again on the advice, surely, of the independent doctor for that collision. And what they believe needs to be an HIA.
Replaced by Sipley, who's a front row, so there'll be a bit of a change there. I think Walker will go out into the centres.
The utility value of Dylan Walker really coming into effect tonight. He's played lock forward, he's played dummy half. Now we'll play some right centre to fill in for that man, the 19-year-old. So just under 3 remaining. The Gold Coast need to score in this possession. They need to score again to snatch it at the death. Sexton coming up quickly. Cherry Evans racing out of the line, took a chance right there. There was a massive hole off Sexton's hip, but he couldn't link up with anybody. There is Fodawaker. Stuck there by Davey. Now they've got him going backwards. Paseka is there, so is Sipley. It's been a long time on the bench. 12 for 4, Sipley. He's back at the death now to try and hang on. Here is Fafita. Runs towards Parker. Gives it off to Marju. Well, there's some strength in this right edge for the Gold Coast Titans. Asako uses some. Herbert throws a pineapple. It goes to Clark. Sexton showing it. Cherry Evans again. Herds him back to the middle of the field. Will Smith. Whatever they do, they need to do it quickly. Time is ticking away from the Gold Coast.
Great defence, Manly. No one got out of the line. They just defended together.
Brimson, cut-out ball. Was a touch there by the Seagulls. They came up quickly through Jason Saab. Fermo got rattled for his trouble. It is going to be a Titans possession.
Play the ball.
I thought Jason Saab might be going 80 there for the finish. He just got in the lane, but he just couldn't come up with it, and the Titans will get another shot.
It's a feeder. He takes a carry. They work it inside the 20. Inside 90 seconds remaining. Trail by 8. It's Fodawaker giving it. He's outside through Smith. And then for Suamala Ali. Clark from dummy half. He comes back to Smith. Shows it to Fodawaker once again. Manly so close to wrapping this one up. Just over 60 seconds remaining. Holbrook almost resigned to the fate they're going to lose again for the second week in a row. Set restart here. Manly can keep giving them away here and take time off the clock, and that'll just about do it. Smith, Sexton, he goes to Brimson. Grubbers, still there, towed forward, a scramble. Did they score through Fermor? I think they might have. 40 seconds remaining, and the referee points to the spot and says time off.
Well, it's going to be a big set, this next one. There'll be about 30 seconds left on the clock. They'll get a couple of play the balls. They won't get their whole set. But looking at this play, they shift out to the left. Some nice football again, going through the hands, and Manly were quite comfortable to keep giving sets of 6 away, but the kick goes through. It's a ricochets off Dylan Walker, and the Titans come up with late points.
Well, they had the option, of course,
Bit of confusion here, Warren.
to elect not to take the kick, but time is off inside the final 5 minutes until he lines up the kick, and then time will be blown back on. Manly walking back to the halfway line. I think they were under the impression that the Titans had elected to not take the kick.
Yeah, well, they need to score a try, so it's not a bad option. Just get back ready to go.
Okay, Chids.
And we're going to take...
We need to check offside chaser, mate.
moment
Just review
here,
the chase, please.
just to make sure that Fermor was onside when Brimson came through and towed the ball forward into the in goal. So the initial kick is all good.
Toby Sexton is cleared as being onside from the first kick.
Ball remains alive here. Sexton, Grubbers, Fermor on the outside there of Brimson. Boy, that must be tight for Fermor to be onside on this second kick.
It's hard to tell from this angle.
An educated guess would suggest he's just in front of the ball.
And the referee ruled try.
It might be obscured here by Sipley, which will make it tough
Bo
for the bunker.
Fermor is in front of the second kick from Toby Sexton.
So at the death. With Sexton about to try and take a conversion from out wide, the bunker says, just hold your horses, boys. We want to check it.
And he's within 10 metres of a player waiting for the ball and becomes involved in the play. We have a decision.
When the red lights grow up, watch and listen to this reception. Manly have hung on here at Brookvale tonight, the Gold Coast, as they did last week in a remarkably similar scoreline. Last week was 26-20. Tonight, 26 points to 18 for Daly Cherry Evans. And the Manly Seagulls going to claim their 4th consecutive victory. Penalty to Manly. Des Hasler loosens the tie. He knows they're home now, but boy, they were under the pump massively in the second half.
We'll put that no try down to Daly Cherry Evans. He was the one that went to the referee and questioned him and to have a look at it, and obviously he's gone back to the bunker. But he's been fantastic tonight, Daly Cherry Evans. He's been the difference in the end, him and his mate, Kieran Foran.
What a role they've played, the veterans. All those games between them, in excess of 500 games between them. And now LIA will take a carry down that right-hand side of the field. It's a tough loss again for the Gold Coast Titans, but they are jubilant here at Brookvale. On the hill, they packed it tonight, and they're dancing because the Seagulls have beaten the Gold Coast Titans, a team they've had their troubles with at this venue in recent seasons. Tonight they've been too good. They make it 4 wins on the trot. They've beaten the Titans 26 points to 18.